It's been a living a normal Tuesday. Nothing special, just another workday. Your coffee's getting cold beside your laptop while rain taps softly against the apartment window. Life finally feels peaceful. 5 years ago, you thought you'd never say that. It took hundreds of sleepless nights, countless distractions, and years of rebuilding yourself to finally stop thinking about one person. Your ex. The person who once knew every secret, every dream, and every fear you had. The person you were convinced you'd spend the rest of your life with. Until one day, they disappeared from your future. You haven't heard their voice in 5 years. No birthday messages, no accidental likes, no late-night apologies, nothing. Then, your phone vibrates. You glance down without thinking. Your entire body freezes. One name, 2 words. Incoming call. It's your ex. 5 years earlier, life felt different. You weren't thinking about promotions, investments, or paying bills. You were simply trying to figure out who you wanted to become. Then, one ordinary afternoon, you met someone who would quietly change everything. It wasn't love at first sight. It was something much more dangerous. Comfort. Conversations that lasted until sunrise. Coffee dates that somehow turned into entire weekends. Laughing over absolutely nothing. Slowly, without even realizing it, your routines became their routines. Your dreams became shared dreams. Every future plan had 2 names instead of 1. You stopped saying me. You started saying us. And somewhere along the way, you trusted them with every part of your life. You never imagined that trust would become the very thing that broke you. Nobody ever notices the exact moment a relationship starts falling apart. There isn't a loud alarm. There isn't a single dramatic event. It's much quieter than that. The good morning texts become shorter. Date nights slowly disappear. Conversations become updates instead of conversations. I'll call you later. I'm just busy. We'll talk tomorrow. Tomorrow slowly becomes next week, then next month. You start asking yourself questions you never imagined asking. Are they losing interest? Did I do something wrong? Or am I just overthinking? So you try harder. You surprise them. You cancel plans for them. You make excuses for them. Because when you love someone, you fight for the relationship long before you realize you're the only one fighting. Then, one evening, everything changes. One notification, one message, one truth. The trust you spent years building disappears in a matter of seconds. You stare at the message for nearly an hour. Your mind keeps replaying the last 5 years. Every unanswered question, every sleepless night, every promise that was never kept. You could ignore it. You probably should. After everything that happened, nobody would blame you. But one question refuses to leave your mind. Why now? Finally, you type 3 simple words. What's going on? The reply comes almost instantly. Can we meet? Please. No explanation, no apology, just an address. The next evening, you arrive 10 minutes early. Some habits never change. The cafe looks exactly the same. The same wooden tables, the same music, the same smell of fresh coffee. Except this time, you're not excited. You're nervous. The door opens. 5 years disappear in a single second. There they are. Older, more tired, not the confident person you remember. They look at you, almost afraid. For a few seconds, neither of you speaks. Some conversations are too heavy for words. Inside the envelope, there isn't a bill. There isn't a legal document. There isn't a request for money. It's a hospital report. Your eyes move across the page. One word immediately catches your attention. Leukemia. You look up. They're already crying. For the first time since sitting down, they finally explain everything. A few months after they left, they got married. Life moved on. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. Then, 6 months ago, their 8-year-old daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. Every treatment, every hospital, every specialist, nothing has worked. The doctors found one final option: a stem cell transplant. The chances of finding a compatible donor are incredibly small. Thousands of people were tested. None matched. Then, through a routine compatibility search connected to old medical records, your name appeared. You're one of the closest genetic matches they've ever found. You sit there, unable to process what you've just heard. 5 years ago, they broke your heart. Today, you might be the only person who can save their child. You don't answer immediately, not because you don't care, because your heart is fighting two different battles. One side remembers every broken promise, every night you questioned your worth, every tear you hid from the world. The other side sees a child who never hurt you, a child who never asked to be part of someone else's mistakes. For a long moment, you simply close your eyes. Then you say 4 words. I'll do the test. A week later, the hospital confirms it. You're a perfect match. The procedure is scheduled immediately. It isn't glamorous. It isn't dramatic. It's simply one person choosing compassion over resentment. Hours later, the doctors smile. The transplant is successful. Recovery won't happen overnight. There are still months of treatment ahead. But for the first time in a long time, there is hope. Before leaving the hospital, your ex walks toward you. They don't ask for forgiveness. They don't try to explain the past. Instead, they simply say, "Thank you." You smile politely, not because everything is fixed, but because you've realized something. Forgiveness isn't pretending the pain never happened. It's refusing to let that pain decide who you become. Some people enter your life to stay forever. Others enter to teach you something. And sometimes the greatest act of healing is helping someone who can never repay you. As you walk out of the hospital, the rain has finally stopped. For the first time in years, it feels like you're walking toward your future instead of running from your past.